Hi there. My name is Nathan Greg Allen. This message is for AG Pam Bondi, AAG Harmeet Dillon, and others at the Justice Department. Consider this my report that is more than 500 words that won't fit in your reporting prompt under complaints. In this case, we've got multiple violations of U.S. Code Title 18, subsection 242, deprivation of rights through color of law, among other things. In 2019, I was made homeless and a prohibited person, first by my parents using the East Mesa Justice Court as a red flag law to get me out of their house because they didn't like the fact that I was a gun owner that they didn't control. And I'll admit I had an accidental discharge, and I was even offering to pay for the repair the damages, but that wasn't good enough. So first, before that, they tried throwing me in the CBI psych ward. After I told them what was going on as a result, and even though I said that I had a CCW permit, they let me out after 72 hours. The old man, after the veil dropped me off the back of the house, comes up screaming, "Do you have any guns on you?" several times over. Wouldn't let me talk, and told him don't have to answer that question. And then he doubles down, threatens, and raises his voice progressively and says, "Well, then I'm going to petition to throw you in the mental institution again and again and again and again, whatever it takes to get you out of this house." Yeah, that would have been a nice YouTube moment if I had the chance to record that. Wouldn't let me talk either. So they go behind my back again and go to the East Mesa Justice Court and arrange to have an order of protection put out on me to get me out of the house, and they claimed that they feared for their lives, despite the fact that I made no threats against them whatsoever. Naughty, naughty. So, anyway, I'm ended up, after exhausting, money running out, after trying to stay in the hotel to keep a roof over my head in a really sketchy part of town, I'm forced to find on the street, urban camp, tent, and all that. And I help a woman who I later finds out is a drug addict by the name of Jerusha Millet Sosa, and get her bike back from a known drug dealer and trafficker by the name of Kelly Tilly, who also hangs out with some other characters, including Super Dave Duda, who recently got out after doing 2 years in prison for possession of drugs, among other things. And this person also made a threat to me after I called the cops on them dealing in Rotary Park. The cops there did nothing, but when I went to Paz de Cristo to eat, they demanded to know if I called the cops on them. And I didn't say anything. And Mr. Duda yells and screams, and I quote, "That's it. You're dead, motherfucker. You're dead. It's on. It's on now." Okay. So there I have my life threatened. Again, Mesa cops do nothing. So, a couple weeks later, I found out they also put a bounty on my head with the homeless, offering them dope to anybody who finds my campsite so they could come, try and take me out, stab me while I'm sleeping, among other things. I can only imagine. But what really gets interesting is around November-ish at St. Vincent de Paul, right around 10:30, 11 o'clock after eating breakfast, I run into Miss Tilly, who is smoking meth at the bus stop right outside St. Vincent de Paul on Broadway. And, I try to de-escalate the situation. I'm like, "Look, I don't want any trouble. Just leave me alone, okay? And let me go my own way." And she says, "What are you going to do? What are you going to do if I don't? You going to pepper spray me?" And she spits on me while smoking meth. That, by legal definition, is assault with a toxic substance. If not an illegal and controlled substance at that. So I pepper spray her in the eyes, and I take my cart, and I run. And even though all the homeless tell you don't call the police, well, they do. They break their own code and call the police anyway. Tell them that I pepper sprayed her. They didn't tell the cops I was in self-defense. the cops corner me at the recycling plant, at the recycling center, and grab all my stuff. And while they're arresting me and cuffing me, a white female officer, I don't know her name, it happened so fast, but I do know that she was white, she was a female, and a brunette. But she smiles and she says, quote, "Oh, you're hearing voices in your head, aren't you?" Said, "No, I'm not." But they put that in the report anyway. They go take me downtown, book me on assault charges, and they let Miss Tilly, who again is a known drug trafficker and dealer, walk. They don't arrest her or do anything. In fact, the city prosecutor actually tries later on to have her testify me in a potential court. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so, but it doesn't stop there. Then, after seemingly releasing me on my ROR, okay, released on own reconnaissance, they put find out the hard way that I don't even get to get released. They fast track me, take me to Community Bridges Psych Ward, put me in there, and not even for 72 hours do I go there. Within 6 hours, they put me in an ambulance and take me down to what's now Valleywise Mental Hospital off Country Club in Brown Mesa, where they take me to, I find out later, a mental health court that's actually meant for juveniles, not adults. I found this out when trying to get my rights restored after half a decade of being pushed through bogus court order treatment renewals. We'll get to that in a bit. And they keep trying to say, and they try to say that I'm a danger to myself and others, and that I should be put on COT. Gee, I'm not a danger to myself or others, unless, of course, I don't know, you threaten my life. Then it's self-defense mode. Okay, it's on right there. That is the law of self-defense in most states. When you have your life threatened, and you've been, one of the ones you get intimidated, and it doesn't de-escalate into threat, yeah, you can use force. I didn't even use deadly force. It was just freaking pepper spray. But anyway, so they try to say that I'm schizophrenic, even though I don't hear voices, I don't see visions, I don't hallucinate. Prior to this, I had no criminal record. And they, play the runaround with, the social worker plays the runaround, trying to place me in recovery homes, despite the fact that I don't have an alcohol or drug problem, or a tobacco problem. So, that didn't work. So then they try to place you in a flesh care facility. And they put the person on the line. It's like basically asking, hi, can you take care of yourself, cook your own meals, wipe your own hind end, etc.? Yes. Well, then we're not for you. Click. So their next option, to keep this game going, and keep you in a holding pattern, within a couple weeks, in Arizona, Access will only pay, for your hospital or medical center stay, whatever, for about, 60 to 90 days. After that, what they do is they move you to another facility to start the clock all over again. In this case, it was Integral Health Systems in Phoenix. And they keep doping me up on all these pills despite the fact that I have no mental disorders. Okay? And I'm placed in there, waking up in nothing but, white mental patient clothes with other people who have everything from meth, other drug addictions, a Marine Corps Gulf vet who had an alcohol addiction. Yeah, that was an interesting experience. But ultimately, the other options are they put you at Central Arizona Shelter Services, or CAS, and if that's full, they dump you back on the street. So, but they still put me on court-ordered treatment for schizophrenia, and they prescribe first, for the first couple of years, what is it? Risperidone or risperidol in its many derivatives, which it's an antipsychotic, okay? And they claim it's for the schizophrenia that I don't have. Okay? And this goes, and every month, and just when it expires, I go to what's now known as Copa Health in the Phoenix area, and they put me on quarter treatment yet again because they think I'm going to harm somebody because I used Amazon to order clothes, a new set of clothes that would actually fit me. Okay, I can't exactly buy off the rack due to my size and weight. Regardless, I ordered a tactical pen, lock picks, and a set of clothes. They think I'm going to go harm somebody. I hate to break it to you, but most of the homeless in the valley, you better believe they're armed. They'll carry everything from knives, big knives, stabbing weapons, and even in some cases firearms themselves. May not be gotten legitimately through an FFL, but that's beside the point. The point is they actually do carry that stuff. So, I'm just playing defense. So they put me on COT again, and this time they want to say that I'm in denial of having a mental disorder. Okay? And this time they want to push Invega Sustaina. Now, if you look up and Google Invega Sustaina, this stuff costs $3,600 a shot, which they give you a month for 12 months for a whole year. That adds up. And it's a mood stabilizer. Well, they didn't diagnose me with a emotional mood or mental disorder, needing such thing. You gotta wonder. And they do this for 5 years, and eventually I do find a place, but I'm still disarmed, and they make me a prohibited person as a result, and put me in the NICS system as such, despite the fact that I have 5 handguns and suppressor to my name, according to ATF records and paperwork. Okay? Now, as far as I know, last time, a Chandler man by the name of Kurt Patterson was holding on to my collection. Although, I've tried to contact him recently, and he hasn't responded. So, I don't know. But, and the Bruin decision comes down. And, so, basically, and under Bruin, because there is no analog or historical tradition of a mental health court going back to when the Second Amendment was ratified, Arizona's mental health framework and gun-grabbing mental health court framework is unconstitutional, flat on its face. And the fact also, when they charged me with misdemeanors and assault, for misdemeanors, they put me in Florence Iman Complex in Florence, Arizona, run by Core Civic. And according to the inspectors for the Arizona Department of Corrections, that is a level 4 facility reserved for violent felons, gang, and cartel members. Gee, what are you doing there? They were actually pretty curious what I wound up doing there. And even while I was there for 10 days, I told the inmates what was going on. And one of the inmates said, "Dude, you shouldn't even be in here. The only reason you're here is because it was a woman and an Indian." So much for equal justice. So you have clearly misclassifications on, being thrown through the system, being misclassified on its face, according to a telegram message alleging from A.G. Bondi. Don't know if it's her, can't verify it, even though she was also trying to pitch QFS stuff. But regardless, it's quite the legal opinion. First of all, everything is done to me is flat on its face unconstitutional, because The mental health court, they hold a hearing, not a jury trial. Therefore, it should be fairly easy to challenge the illegal marking of me, labeling me severely mentally ill or SMI. I would love to find an attorney to help this. And second, the fact that all the cops did all this stuff and made up all the charges and lied. Oh, yes, they did lie. It's obvious. And they made it up. Yeah, they're guilty of U.S. Code Title 18, subsection 242, deprivation of rights through color of law. So is the municipal court judge who went along with this, Alicia Lawler. The county attorney, the mental health court judge, Core Civic, the City of Mesa Council, with the exception of the new councilwoman, Doreen Taylor. Oh yeah, you'd have a field day going after all these people. Hey, by the way, if anybody else is viewing this like Gun Owners of America, NRA, or any other prospective constitutional law firm, I don't have any money, but hey, you want to make a bigger name for yourself by setting a big-time, irreversible legal precedent? Get on board. Contact me. You know where to find me on X. Come on. It's not going to be that hard. Yeah. To quote Clive Owen from the film The International, I want some fucking justice. Oh yeah. I want some remedy. I want my record cleared up. Okay. You guys keep sending me all these job offerings for all the alphabet agencies like the NSA, the Secret Service, the FBI, the Border Patrol, etc. Okay? Clear my record up. Get my gun rights back. I want them back. I demand it. Okay? What part of the Second Amendment that's read through the Bruin decision says shall not be infringed? Shall is a legal command saying that's not optional. You have to follow that. It is a directive. So, yeah, I want my record cleared up. I want remedy. I want my collection back. And if I can't get it back, I want those weapons replaced. Oh, and one of those weapons, a first generation Walther PPQ M1, was auctioned off by the Mesa Cop Shop, claiming I wasn't able to claim it under the order of protection at the time. And within a 30-day period, they sold it off at a police auction without my consent. You can't trust these people to safeguard or safekeep your weapons. I wouldn't. Oh, and one should also, I have a separate opinion on USCCA, among others. Well, when I called them to help me get me out of the situation, and told them about the incident that occurred back then, they tell me on the phone, instead of like they do in the commercials saying that they'll call a local attorney to represent you, get you out of jail, bail, etc. No, they don't. In reality, they told me over the phone, I quote, "We'll get with our counsel and determine whether or not we can cover your case." So it's not automatic. It's conditional. Why are you? It's kind of a waste of money. Why are you paying them $19 to $30-something a month for insurance that you don't even let you use half the time? And there's also a small little clause, according to attorneys on retainer, unless they recently changed it, that even if you win the trial, you still have to pay them all that money back. I mean, I don't know. That sounds like acting in bad faith or possibly breach contract and deceptive advertising. Yeah. Yeah, Bondi, Dylan, you might want to go after the state of Arizona for doing this because I'm just patient zero that you know about. Okay? I've seen them do this to dozens of people. Dozens. And this institution has been around since 2004. Frankly, It should be abolished. That is all.